Forming the border between Panama and Colombia is the Darien Gap, a roadless, lawless region 60 miles wide. Panama is seeing its own illegal migration as people from various countries undertake the perilous trek through the jungle.
Once the rainy season begins, this kind of river and this kind of dugout canoe is the way that people travel out here. If you can't get there by boat, then pretty much you can't get there. And it's especially dangerous in the beginning of the wet season because they get rain that's measured in feet, not inches, and that causes flash flooding. But the real flood that they have to deal with right now is a flood of human beings.
Alan Foster, who works with indigenous groups here, says the situation is worse now than ever.
And it's just a very dark area, largely controlled by guerrillas and paramilitaries. There's a lot of hardship, both physical and spiritual oppression that's happening right now to the peoples there. The migrants, the journey to get through the Darien Gap takes anywhere from 5 to 8 days to walk. Depending on the weather, there may or may not be water. There's parts that are nearly impassable where people have to crawl on all fours. People are literally traipsing over the top of clothed skeletons to be able to get through, and not all of them make it.
The Panamanian Border Police, known as Senafront, have struggled as the flow of migrants went from a few dozen a week to now sometimes hundreds each day.
You know, there are a lot of people, they are arriving every day. And the majority of them, there are a lot of pregnant women and many children, they are sick. And you know, Panama is a small country, but we try to do our best, but I'm sure we need more help.
So the migrants that are coming through this part of the Darien, deep in the jungle, they don't just have to deal with crossing rivers like this or the natural hazards like bugs and wild animals and snakes and scorpions and things like that. They're having to deal with armed bands of thugs who are industrializing the robbery of these migrants as they come through here. And many of them never come out alive.
When they came, they pointed a gun. They robbed me. They took my bag, the phone I had. When they took the bags, they went to the bush. They went with one lady inside the forest.
This group of migrants fled the violence in the West African country of Cameroon, but they had no idea what they would face when they entered the jungles of Colombia.
Dead bodies, like, for me, my experience, three dead bodies.
Who was
One man, a lady, and a child.
It was like hell if you don't have courage. It was very hard because the road is terrified. Armed robbers, thieves are everywhere.
So if you can imagine the migrants who are coming through the Darien are coming into these incredibly remote villages where there just are not a lot of resources. There are not a lot of food, drinkable water. So it's causing a lot of strain on the indigenous communities in this area.
This is a big concern for the Panamanian government, as the jungle is a fragile ecosystem inhabited by primitive indigenous tribes who can be adversely affected by the flood of migrants.
All these guys live in some places in the world that they have native diseases. When they came to Panama, they bring that diseases to here. It's the responsibility of the National Border Service and the Health Service take care of it, try to preserve the life of our native. That's why the National Border Service have that multinational operations called Control Flow, in where we coordinate the movement of all these massive groups through Panama and through the other borders.
Because Panama serves as a choke point, the U.S. Border Patrol has agents stationed in these camps, where they take biometric data from every person before they continue north to Costa Rica. But Costa Rica will only accept a small number of migrants per week. Meanwhile, hundreds every day are entering Panama, which is resulting in very poor conditions in the camps.
So we're back in the camp at Penitas, and a new group has just arrived. This whole truckload is from India, and they're getting registered now, getting their biometrics taken, fingerprints, iris scan, things like that, photographs, getting checked against whatever databases the United States has. So I'm going to go visit a little baby who was born in the camp right after his mother finished that terrible journey. Can you imagine making that journey at 9 months pregnant? That's unbelievable.
This young mother planned to escape Cuba to go to the United States, but baby Darien is now a Panamanian citizen. so the authorities here say she will not be allowed to leave with her baby until he's older. Meanwhile, more than 3,000 people languish in these camps, hoping to continue their journey north as soon as possible. But Alan Foster says God can use this misery for his glory.
It's a very sad situation, but the people that arrive have just come through one of the most emotionally impactful experiences of their life, and we actually feel it's a really good opportunity for them to be receptive to the gospel here.
From Yavisa, Panama, I'm Chuck Holton for CBN News.